Okay, welcome back. Today's Monday, March 16th, 2009. It's 11:26 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm Brian Ladd, and I have Gail St. John and Deborah with us tonight. We're going to be covering our three old cases, case 317, 322, and 337, which are still missing. And then we're going to be covering a few Amber Alerts. Actually, we're going to be covering the Amber Alerts right now. We have some good news too. So let's start with the good news, Deborah, and I'll get the graphics up.
Okay, the first case is for Deborah.
Yeah. Hold on, that noise is just gonna. Yeah. The first case is for Deborah. It's case 685. We opened it on the 1st of March this year, and Deborah's got some good news.
Okay, I thought you were going to tell everyone, but I guess I can.
Oh, yes, that's fine. I was just getting the graphic up. Wow. Well, go ahead.
Okay, this is for Deborah Kalai Fourzan. She's been missing since February 2nd. And to begin with, they thought that she was traveling to California with a guy, 13-year-old, 41-year-old guy. One of those situations again. Well, they located her on Saturday evening, safe and unharmed, in the state of Washington. She was with the 41-year-old guy, and it turns out that he had been a friend of the family before he decided to take the child on the run with him. And he was pulled over for improper use of a lane on the freeway, and they got him. They were able to realize that he had the outstanding warrant and took him into custody, and at this point it has not been stated what they're doing to get her back to Missouri or anything like that, just that they would be questioning the both of them further before they did. So she's safe and unharmed, her family's relieved, and this is what we like to hear. So thank you to Dragon Ferry for putting the information in the forum.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a new picture of her and of this guy here, this winter. The dream dwellings. Yeah, the dream dwellings. At this point, don't seem to be really relevant. It said Sacramento and then New Mexico. So I don't know if they ever went to there, or these are just wrong, or it's something else. I don't know. But I'm very happy that Deborah's safe and sound. Definitely would not be wanting her to hang out with this guy anymore. But you know what? It'll probably happen. Sadly, it probably will.
Yeah, well, hopefully he's in jail for a good long time. They were
Doubt
getting
it.
him for sexually explicit behavior, communications with a child, with someone, underage, and they were trying to charge him with the kidnapping.
Okay.
So, hopefully he gets put away for a while, because he crossed a lot of state lines with a child.
Yeah.
And I still don't understand what grown men want with children. But there's just altogether too much of that happening lately.
Yeah, I
or
totally.
maybe we're just doing more of those cases lately. I'm sure, it's not I doubt it's on the increase.
No, one thing with as far as pedophiles go and all that stuff, it's been going on for a long time. I think that just I don't even think it's increasing. I just think it's just reported more with it. The way that the internet works and the media works now. Everything's put out. Everything that happens everywhere. Back a while ago, you only knew your local news, and sometimes big stories. But I don't think anything's changing. I just think that it needs to stop. That's probably the most important thing. There goes the computer.
I think those more recently, Brian, for your cases.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Children and grown men and trafficking and the like. So I think we're looking at more of it than we did.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean it's increasing.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. Duncan and Jack Connolly. This is case number 697. I don't believe we discussed this yet. The case has been open since March 12th of 2009. These are two missing boys, brothers. Deborah, can you give us some more information on these two?
Yes, I can. Duncan Connolly is 9 years old. Both these boys, the brothers, have been missing since March 8th of 2009 from Bloomington, Illinois. Duncan is an Asian male, 3 feet 6 inches tall, 66 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Then his brother Jack, he is 7 years old, an Asian male, 3 feet 4 inches tall, 62 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. And they've been missing. They were abducted by their father. This was an Amber Alert in the state of Illinois, and it was actually a live Amber Alert for over a week while they had that status. So I don't know if I should say any more than that because I know where they suspect the father had taken them.
Okay.
We have Gail on the line that is planning to help.
Yeah. Gail's agreed to help us with this case. Gail St. John. Gail, do you want me to read what I have right now, or do you want to go with what you got?
No, I'm just going to, you can say it after I say this, but I just want to say, however or wherever they went, I saw a direction they actually went through Arkansas.
Okay.
So I have no idea if that's in line with whatever direction they're going passing through Arkansas.
Okay.
Because I saw something, and I first thought it was, the Carolinas, because I saw Greensboro or something. So there must be a Greensboro, Arkansas or something.
I don't know, but I'll look it up. So you want me to go with what I got?
All I saw was Greensboro, so I don't know what Greensboro is. Greensboro, where, what, I don't know. But there's Greensboro came up.
Okay. Let me go with what I have. These are dream drawings from the 11th of March. And guys, bear with us.
Okay.
There's a bad audio problem. You see, I keep having to smack this microphone. For some reason, it gets louder and louder. And the only way I can fix it is smacking this thing. And then over on this side is the PC that just doesn't want to be quiet. Okay, so the dream drawings from the 11th of March. First one states, children found it stopped 21 miles, 449 218, and I don't think that would be a phone number. It's not enough digits, nor zip code.
So
go ahead.
So you got a 21 like I did.
Okay. Oh, hold on.
Is that the case? Is that the one from Illinois?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking your notes. I didn't write down that 21, but I know you told me. Next one says Milwaukee stop. That could be a rest stop or anything, or it might be something totally different. I'm not exactly sure. I do not know what the drawing is, and I don't know what those symbols are. The next one says, not in car is there, and once again, stop. I don't really know what that means, but it could be that they're not in the car. Maybe they changed cars or something, but there's the word stop, maybe rest stop. I don't know. So that's all I have on this one, guys. Gail, you said Greensboro, Arkansas, and
Greensboro. I don't know if it's Arkansas or somewhere in that area, but I kept hearing Greensboro. So somebody knows where Greensboro is, and I don't mean heading to the Carolinas or anything like that. Greensboro. It very well could be even Wisconsin, but it just keep feeling green. I just keep hearing Greensboro. But 21 was the biggest thing that came to me when you first said that about the case. 21.
Okay.
So
do we have any idea what that 21 might mean, though? I mean,
I think it might mean a date.
Okay. So like maybe they're found on the 28th.
21. 21st.
I mean, I'm sorry. Then okay.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I can assume. Now I'm assuming that because we haven't yet reached the 21st. So.
Okay.
But that's the biggest thing, and I don't feel any real danger. I'm not feeling worried.
As far as I'm looking at this, I didn't see any danger in the dream drawings either. But it's so vague. I mean, there's nothing really can help us with this case. I mean, we'd have to either redo this one or something. There's really nothing here that we could follow up on as far as Milwaukee stop.
When I get a case like that, what I usually find out is that's going to be resolved pretty quickly.
Okay.
This
thing is, though, this is an Amber Alert, right, Deborah?
Yes, it is.
It's been going on since the 12th, so the police think that doesn't happen too often, that they keep an Amber Alert.
It's been since the 8th. It was since the 8th, and they ran the alert for more than a full week on the ticker, actually.
Right.
Which is a long time. They don't normally do that. They ran it for more than a full week.
Right. So the police do think that these children are in danger.
Well, he's leaving state, too.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not what they think, actually.
What do they think?
They were taken from Bloomington, Illinois,
Mm-hmm.
which is more central in the state, a little further down, and they thought that he was taking the boys to Hoffman Estates, Illinois, which is more up by the Chicago area, a little bit like southwest, on the outskirts of the suburbs. And so they had everyone in the Hoffman Estates area checking, looking in that area and trying to find the boys there. That's where they thought he was going.
Well, obviously he went quite a different direction.
He must have, yes.
Well, let's hope that he turns himself in and these kids are safe.
Well, you want me to give his information here for those that are listening?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Go ahead now. Sure. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. I didn't want to give it earlier.
Yeah, no, because of
Gail.
Gail.
With Gail on the line here too. All of a sudden, I stopped myself and went, "Whoa."
Okay.
His name is Michael Connolly. He's 40 years old. Date of birth, May 20th, 1968. And he's an Asian male, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 170 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He could be driving a gray Dodge Dynasty, license plate number A326109. He may go by the alias. Now his name is Michael Connolly. He may use the name Gung Yer Lee, an Asian name, instead. And they say that he may be in the local area or he may travel to Hoffman Estates. But the authorities found nothing there, and according to what you guys have, you're not getting anything in the Hoffman Estates area either.
Yeah, no. Okay, so that's what we have on this case, guys. Anything else, Gail? I've got.
Pretty much that's it.
Okay,
the
21 and 21 could be a Tate in Greensboro and possibly Arkansas, right? Okay, I'm gonna post your notes on the case right now. Let's move on to our 3 old cases. First case is number 317. That's Jim Gray. Let me get his graphic up here. This is a picture of Jim. Deborah, I believe you have more information for Jim. Deborah, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Got his information.
Okay.
He's been missing since the year 2007. He was actually in his sail. He went missing off the coast of San Francisco.
All right.
His full name is James N. Gray, Gray. Missing since January 27th, 2007, from San Francisco, California. They list him as lost or an injured missing. Date of birth, January 12th, 1944, 62 years old when he went missing. He would be 64 right now. 6 feet 2 inches tall to 6 feet 3 inches tall, 190 to 195 pounds. Caucasian male, graying brown hair, brown eyes. His nickname is Jim. He has thick eyebrows and a scar on the upper left side of his chest. He wears large framed glasses. He had a white beard at the time that he went missing. He was wearing a blue or white shirt, a cream-colored crewneck sweater, a black rain jacket, blue Levi's, a gold wedding band with a boat engraved on it, and a silver ring with a large mosaic tortoise stone or black coral stones on it. He was last seen in the morning on this day, and he did call his wife and his daughter from his cell phone. He was sailing his boat in the Pacific Ocean near San Francisco, and he was planning on scattering his mother's remains near the Farallon Islands, which is a wild refuge 27 miles off the shore. The day that he was out in his boat sailing, on the day that he went missing, the conditions for sailing were excellent. The sea was calm, there was good visibility, and there was no inclement weather for him to be sailing in. After the cell phone calls, he was never heard from again. His wife reported him missing at 8:35 p.m. on January 29th, when he didn't come back as scheduled, and he didn't answer his cell phone either. His 40-foot boat is Canadian-made, fiberglass CMC 40-foot yacht named Tenacious, and they have not located it yet. There is a photograph available of his boat. It has a red hull with silver and white side stripes and a black mast. The boat was equipped with high-tech communications and safety gear, including a marine radio, an emergency beacon to blast a signal if the boat sank, and an inflatable lifeboat. He usually wore the safety harness when he was sailing. They did do an extensive search of the ocean, and there was no sign of him or his boat or any type of wreckage. If he had fallen overboard, he would not have survived more than a few hours because the water was very cold at the time. They do say that he was a very skilled sailor, though. The investigators believe that he died.
Go on, Gail.
His boat is missing with him, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yes, the boat is missing with him, and they don't think he vanished intentionally. Something interesting about Jim. He was a nationally recognized computer science researcher. At the time that he went missing, he managed Microsoft's eScience group in San Francisco. He was also the first ever recipient of a PhD from the University of California at Berkeley's computer science department. He earned his degree in 1969. So he was a smart man and a skilled sailor. And they're puzzled. They have no idea what could have happened.
Okay, thank you.
So,
do you have anything else? I'm sorry, this audio problem is really getting bad.
Something because she's paying attention, or if you're going to go with what you have.
Okay, Gail, do you have anything, or do you want me to move on to this right now?
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay.
I'm looking up something.
Okay, the case was requested to be open on February 1st of 07. The dream drawings were done on February 17th of 07. First one says, Jim knows what he's doing, trust. Second one says, shell of life, recheck the image. It was the boat. Do not give up. Boat will be found. RV is complete. Read the message in his code. Okay, where it says recheck the image, that might be some type of search that was going on at the time. Next one says 19 Mexico Island, Martin Beach, Mexico coast, and then the word Maya, M-A-Y-A. There is some information that it does seem like these places do exist. There's a map below. It's actually in Mexico, Playa San Martin, I believe. As far as I know, I don't. Well, I don't. From what we know, he's still missing. But we never actually researched this really at all. I do know. I'm looking at the comments here. The dream may point to along the lines he's deceased, and this could be one of the dreams where I first actually started documenting that death feeling. That's what I'm looking right here. And once again, that feeling is I hate to say it, but it's a wonderful, warm-like feeling. I think I brought it up plenty of times before. It's posted on the case file. Gail, you said you have something, or are you getting anything at all?
The thing that bothered me in this case was I was trying to see if I saw a name or could find a name, and I heard you're talking about Mexico. What name did you say?
Martin Beach, Mexico coast, and then the word Maya, M-A-Y-A.
Because the reason why I said that, you're talking about Mexico,
right?
But what I began to feel things that were Guatemalan.
Okay.
Hearing and one thing sounded like chipper or chip something other, and that's why I was trying to look up and see if I could find anything. And of course, my map was freezing up. And I also heard Miguel. So that was something
you heard what?
Me. But the whole Miguel, it sounded like Miguel. M-I-G-U-E-L, I think it would be spelled.
Okay, Miguel. Okay.
And when I say that, I feel like this has ended up in this direction, but it took time to get there. I don't know what that means. It took time to get there.
Okay.
So it might have started in one place and ended up in another. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like, you know, you're talking one place, but I feel like it ended up somewhere else.
Okay. Well, it could very well be so. And in this case, I'm hoping that
Well, the first thing I heard was Maria, and I don't feel like Maria as in the name of a person. I mean Maria like the name of a place, or I guess more like it feels more like an island to me.
Okay.
And I don't know where that is, and I can't.
It does say Shell of Life. Recheck the image. Google something real quick.
Brian, when you set up searching possibly, I did find information on Jim's website, and they examined more than 500,000 images, more than 560,000 from 3 satellites.
Yeah, I remember that.
Almost 3,500 square miles of the ocean.
Can you send me a link to his website? I'm going to put that up right on this case.
I did already.
Oh, okay, thank you.
You're
on top of it.
Island Maria or
Isn't there a place called Santa?
Something that's, I don't know. I can't get I cannot. Everything froze up on my computer.
Okay. Well, one thing with this case is either he's either he's went for a reason or he's deceased, and there's no way that he's still going to be on a boat somewhere.
No, but the one key to it is that island, I feel like, and it's something like a J, or a Maria with a J, or J, I just keep seeing this over and over and over, and then later I feel like, and the only thing I can say is somebody sold something to someone in Guatemala, and I feel like that might have been the boat. Now, wouldn't that be noticed if you sell something in Guatemala?
I have no clue.
A boat like that, or maybe they don't have the same rules or laws that we have.
I don't know. But we can look that up. Either way, let's move on. Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Next case is number 322, and that's Stephanie Crane. And let me get the case open right here. The request came from Kelly January 18th of 2007. The case was opened February 23rd of 2007. And Deborah has some more information for Stephanie.
This is for Stephanie Lynn Crane. Her middle name is Lynn Bryan, and it's with one N, L-Y-N.
Okay. Let me... Glad we're doing that. Okay. And I'll update both places too. So go ahead.
Okay, she's been missing since October 11th, 1993, from Chalice, Idaho. Before I go any further, Gail, do you want me to give more than just the stats? Just the, their vital statistics? Do you talk about
It's not going to hurt anything.
I just want
because she's going to give you the summary of what happened, or what they think happened. That's why she's just wondering if that's going to interfere if you're going to do this case or just...
No, it's not. It won't interfere.
Okay.
Because I really don't pay attention usually.
Okay. Yeah, we do know.
Don't pay any attention when I'm talking, right, Gail?
I just don't pay attention when anybody's talking. I just kind of let it flow.
Okay. They classify Stephanie's case as a non-family abduction. Date of birth, September. Is that back in?
Yeah. Got it. Actually, real quick. You get the noise from this side, the microphone from this side, and now it's raining on me. Go ahead.
Okay.
So I keep looking up and getting wet.
She was 9 when she went missing. 4 feet 2 inches tall, 65 to 85 pounds. Caucasian female, brown hair.
You say this is Idaho, right?
Yes, Chalice, Idaho.
How's that? Chalice? I never heard of that.
Yeah, C-H-A-L-L-I-S. 2 L's.
Never heard of it. I've been all through Idaho. Never heard of it.
I don't know if it's a really small town or a bigger one or what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we had relatives that lived there, that's why I asked it. You know, sometimes it, you know what I mean, if you've been around the state a lot, you know some of the names, but I have never heard of that one.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's see. Stephanie has a cowlick on the right side of her hairline. She has very thick hair. You might find her name listed, her middle name listed with 2 N's on Lynn as L-Y-N-N, but it's actually L-Y-N. She was last seen wearing a maroon and white striped hooded sweatshirt with the word gimme imprinted on the front of it, maroon sweatpants, and maroon and white sneakers. She left a bowling alley on October 11th, 1993. She was walking toward Chalice High School, and it was about 6 p.m. in the evening. She was headed home at the time, and it wasn't a very long walk for her, but she never arrived at home, and they never heard from her again. They believe that she was taken at will by a stranger, and they believe that a yellow pickup truck may have been connected. There's a man by the name of Keith Glenn Hescock who was investigated for possible involvement in her case, and also the case of Amber Chanel Hoops. Keith Hescock kidnapped a 14-year-old girl in June of 2002. She escaped from him, and he later committed suicide. Keith Hescock had worked for Amber Chanel Hoops' family, and his neighbor said that he was in Chalice, Idaho the weekend that Stephanie went missing, and he did own a yellow pickup truck at the time that was similar to the one that they think could be connected. They have not been able to link him to Stephanie's disappearance or to Amber Hoops' disappearance at this point. And since he committed suicide, I guess if there was anything to learn, he took it with him.
Okay.
And where was he from? It doesn't state here where he was from. Just that he was in Chalice for that weekend.
Okay, thank you. The dream drawings were done February 23rd, 2007. I first went to drawing of a male, looks like a young male. His name could possibly be Michael, last initial J. Scar, eyes closed together, wears white t-shirts. That's all I see on that drawing. Next dream drawing says, worked at the school. That's probably pretty important information. The number 93, she was taken to Salmon, and the number 21-17-4, brown car / truck, Idaho plates. There's a drawing of that. That is a one of those car truck combinations that we all remember. I guarantee that's what that is. And that's what it says there. We did get a location. And the map is posted on the case file. But that's all I know. I did say, Deborah, I was going to do another RV, and like usual, I didn't get it done. So we might want to redo on this one.
Okay, Gail. I got a couple of things.
Hold on. Go ahead. I'm just getting your last notes. Go ahead.
One of the things I was writing down here as I was listening was I also got a 93.
Okay.
But I also heard something, and I don't know what this means, and maybe it's something we can look up. There's an area that someone calls Custer Valley, something to that effect. And I don't know if it's exactly a name or if it's more like, you know, how residents will call something, you know what I mean, a certain name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I feel like, and I'm not by any means stereotyping anyone, but I feel like there's, in this area, there's like trailers. And I was seeing, it could be symbolic where it's showing it to me, but a trailer that's white, the skirting was white. Kind of a smaller trailer, probably only like a 2-bedroom, but very, very small, not a wide, older trailer. Not a 14-foot, but like a 12-foot. You know what I mean, in width. And I saw a guy who looks to me to be about 24, roughly. Dirty blonde hair, kind of straggly looking, kind of, you know, hung down, bushed out around the ears a little bit. And, I know Brian said something about work at the school. It's extremely possible as far as working at the school, because I feel it's some kind of way that he saw her, but also felt like during, and I don't know what this means, it says July, August, packing or packer. I don't know what that means. And I don't know when if you're a packer, what is that? I have no idea. But it said something about July, August packer. So apparently whatever this person did, they had some other means of work. But if someone can figure out what Custer Valley is, I feel like he was in that area, and I don't think it was that far away from where she actually went missing from.
Okay. Yeah, we've got 93 Custard Valley, 12-foot trailer. Did you say 12 or 14 foot, or what was that?
I think it's a 12 wide, the way it looked to me. It was an older trailer, like a 12-foot wide, maybe 12 by...
24, dirty blonde hair, packing or packer. That could be a lot of different things, like meat packer or something like that. July or August.
Well, I think it probably... I'm going to assume it's connected to meat, because that was kind of the feel I had, you know what I mean? I didn't actually see it, I felt it, like a packer with meat, or it felt like you were in some kind of freezers kind of thing, you know what I mean, cold place, you know what I mean? So, that's all I can say.
All right, thank you. Let's move on. Next case is case number 337. This is Craig Freer. The case was requested to be opened by Claudia on January 26th of 2007. The case was opened March 11th, 2007. Deborah, what do you have for Craig?
I did check. I know we finished Stephanie's case there, but I did check because Gail was asking where that guy was from, the one that was suspected in Stephanie's case and in Amber Chanel Hooks' case. And I did a little checking, and Amber went missing from Idaho Falls. Okay. So I haven't done mapping or anything yet, and he did work for her family. Okay.
All right, I've got her notes posted. I'm scanning them right now, and we'll get the links and stuff up too. And we'll research.
I'll go further on that.
Okay.
Is there any thought that they feel that the authorities thought that there could be a connection, and he committed suicide in 2002. Mm-hmm. So, if there could be a thought that if those cases are connected, it might be advantageous to open a case for Amber.
Okay.
But at the same time, many reports. Yes?
Did they have a place where he lived? They don't know where he lived?
Well, he worked for Amber's family, and Amber went missing from Idaho Falls. That's the closest I could get that information. And since they think it was connected, I could not get a location for him, and he's been deceased for going on 7 years now. But if they could be connected, then it might be advantageous to try to get information on Amber's case. Brian has so many requests at this point, and there's no way to keep up with them, but, it might be a way to bring some resolution to an existing case and then help another one at the same time. So do you have any thoughts on that, Gail, if it could or could not be connected? Did you get anything there? Does he make...
I'm just not getting it. Doesn't mean it's not true. You know what I mean? I'm just not getting anything on it. So I'm not... Brian, what do you think?
At this point, I'm not sure. I would have to really look at this more. Right now, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm almost leaning towards no connection.
Okay.
Really? Okay. I just wondered. It was a thought. I knew Brian wouldn't be able to give an answer, because you both work so differently, but I thought it was worth a try to, if I could get, some kind of direction there. And I guess we'll move on to Craig's case then, and I'll see if I can find, anything out then. I'll do a little more research on those.
Okay. Thank you, Deborah.
Let's see if I can come up with something.
Okay. Like I said, go ahead.
Okay, it's for Craig Allen Freer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I did the intro. Yeah. Please tell us what you have.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay.
He's been missing since June 27th, 2004, from Scotia, New York. His date of birth is October 14th, 1986. He was 17 when he went missing. 5 feet 11 inches tall, 190 pounds, Caucasian male, red hair, brown eyes. His nickname is Craiger. He has dimples and he may have a goatee. All 4 of his wisdom teeth were pulled 2 months to him going missing. He was wearing a white short-sleeved t-shirt, blue jeans or jean shorts, white Adidas sneakers with 3 black stripes on them, and a gold chain with a St. Christopher medal. They last saw him at about 2 p.m. in the afternoon near the Cambridge Manor apartment complex in Scotia, New York. He had been there visiting a friend, and they saw him walking into the nearby woods. He said he was going to his parents' house, and that was located on a cul-de-sac on Yorkshire Court, but he never arrived there, and he never returned back to the apartment complex either. He did leave his car behind at the apartment complex, and he was not carrying his cell phone at the time when he went missing. Craig's mom reported him missing that evening when he failed to return home to Glenville, New York, when she expected him to be there. She said it's not normal for him to leave without a warning, even though he was having disagreements with his parents at the time he went missing. None of his friends approached him either. And to begin with, his family did not publicize his disappearance because they thought he might have been taking some time for himself and he would just work it out and come back. The friend that he was visiting that day says that he was upset over recently breaking up with his girlfriend, but he didn't say anything about running away or harming himself. He left behind his wallet, his driver's license, and there was $40 cash left in his bedroom. His social security number has not been used since he went missing, which would mean he hasn't paid taxes or opened a bank account or applied for a job anywhere in the U.S. There are lots of railroad tracks in that area, and there was no indication that he was hit by a train. He had just finished his junior year at the Scotia Glenville High School at the time when he went missing. He was a good student, and he was also the co-captain of the soccer team. And several colleges were looking to recruit him for a soccer scholarship. He was planning to study elementary education. He has no criminal record, no history of behavioral problems, and no known enemies. He had been acting very secretive prior to the time he went missing, though. He did run away once before in his early teens, and he was only gone for 1 night. The day he went missing, his family found out that he lost his job, and he'd been working at the Price Chopper supermarket, and he'd been there about 2 months when he lost the job. He'd been pretending for weeks that he still worked there, so his parents wouldn't know what happened. They don't think he committed suicide or left on his own. They believe that he came to some sort of harm, but they don't know exactly what at this point. So I don't know, Gail, if you have something, or Brian, you're going to share what you have?
Yeah, let me knock this out real fast. First dream drawing says 12 mile, too late, Old Water Tower Road. Took Craig to water. Steve M., white male college student, 6 foot 2 inches tall. There is a drawing of this man, Steve M. Could be his last initial or whatever. It's in the first dream drawing, case 337. The next dream drawing says Craig met a girl. She had a boyfriend in college. He found out and took Craig into the woods. 2-week plan. Ask her if she knows. Okay, I do think that this may be murder. And I do think with the information here, we could either roll it out or not, as far as what happened. I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to do a little researching on this one. What do you think, Deborah?
Well, I will tell you that I was looking for Old Water Tower Road and Water Tower Road.
Okay.
Not just right there in New York where he went missing, but in the surrounding area of New York State.
Nothing, right?
So I did try that, and yes, I can look further.
Okay.
But so far I have not found anything.
Okay. Gail?
I still had what's his name? Just say it to me.
Craig Freer? Sorry, Craig Freer? Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Or the person in here? The person I have drawn is apparently his name is Steve M.
Okay.
White male college student.
I still go with the Canadian connection, and it could be because they're from Canada. You know what I mean? Or in Canada now. But I just keep feeling that. As if there's something to do with Canada here.
Okay.
I don't know how far Canada is from that area.
Okay.
Does anyone know?
No. I'm sure Deborah does.
Deborah, are we close anywhere to...
We could check, but it's really not that far if you go through New York State. I mean, it's just a few hours, really, if you're going, because I used to live out there, and you can get up along the St. Lawrence Seaway, which overlooks right into Canada. So,
Deborah,
you can't get into Canada fairly quickly.
Does Craig Freer have a middle name?
Allen.
Okay.
Allen.
I don't think you'll find him. I don't know about you, Brian, but I don't think you're going to find him in that immediate area.
Yeah, I really don't know. That's all I have on this one.
I don't
says
think you're going to find
12.
him in the area.
Okay, this to me looks like a planned murder.
Connect today.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They might have. I don't know how you could cross. What year was that? I don't know how you could cross into the Canadian border.
What do you mean?
Before they made things.
You can cross in. Oh no. Yeah, you can.
2000. So you wouldn't have any.
You can get into Canada pretty easily.
What about getting with a map?
Even today. Do what?
Body.
What do you mean?
If you had a body, could you get through to Canada?
Sure. I mean, you can drive right to. There are checkpoints that are on today that are not even manned. I mean, there are checkpoints where you're supposed to sign in. It's the honor system, and they still have that. So, I know by air, it's a little more difficult, but I mean, I cannot see a problem moving anything across the border to Canada.
Because I really feel like, and the one thing that kept coming to mind to me, is I heard 6-7, and I don't know what that means. I'm not sure how that fits in, or you know what I mean.
Could it be a road, Gail?
It could be a road, and I feel like when I hear the 6-7, I thought I heard something like Sarah, and I don't think I don't think it's a person, but I hear 6-7. I feel like I'm heading to not a city area, a very rural area, but I feel like I go into Canada.
Okay. Thank you, Gail. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Gail, and thank you guys for listening. We're going to end the show tonight. Really sorry about the audio and weather problems that we're having here. Is there anything else we need to put out, Deborah? www.findaji.com. Yeah. I forgot. Let me see if I can. I want to say a big thank you to. Go ahead, Deborah.
You have one of his pretty posters, right?
I sure do. This is this is actually donated by Signs of All Kinds, and we'll put a link to them. But they made these posters and shipped this out to us. These are wonderful, guys. Thank you very much. I'm putting one on my truck tomorrow morning. You can actually peel them back and they stick, so you can stick them to anything or post them up. But I mean, amazing work, and thank you guys. If you guys can see that, very much appreciated. And we'll put a link to them too. Anything else?
Just let everybody know. I did put the Find Aji up on Facebook.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Gail. And thanks again for listening. We'll be back tomorrow if the weather and everything else holds. This computer doesn't get thrown out the window. Good night, guys.